What's up, Penn State fans? Off the mat here. My name is Brant Gelman here with my wrestling beat partner Mike Still. We're going to go over Penn State's weekend in which they beat number 20 Illinois and had an 18-18 tie against the number 5 Minnesota Golden Gophers. Penn State's first trip to Minnesota, coming back with not a loss.
Yeah, Brant, first I'd like to note, I love your mustache. Please keep it through the rest of the season. But back to wrestling. On a high note, two Penn State wrestlers had bonus points today. Redshirt freshman David Taylor had a big tech fall and improved to 30-0 in the year. And in 29 of those matches, David Taylor's scored bonus points for the Lions. The kid's really incredible. And redshirt sophomore at 133 pounds, Andrew Long, had a 14-4 major decision, which also helped out the Lions quite a bit.
Yeah, one thing we have noticed, though, about this Penn State wrestling team is that they have struggled in the upper weight classes. Against Illinois and against Minnesota, they had big leads that they kind of vanquished a little bit going into the heavier weight classes. And against Minnesota, they had a big lead going into the break and lost matches at 165 pounds, 184 pounds, and 197 pounds. And everybody knew that 165 and 197, the Nittany Lions might struggle a little bit this year, but what's been very surprising is the wrestling of Quentin Wright, who was an All-American before coming into this season. He just, since injuring his shoulder at the Nittany Lion Open, hasn't quite had it.
Brant, against Illinois, Quentin's going up against an unranked freshman out of Illinois, and he lost on a reversal call in the last seconds of the match. It was a questionable call, but Quentin shouldn't be in that position in the first place. As you mentioned, he's a returning All-American. This just isn't the Quentin Wright that we're used to seeing. You have to maybe think that shoulder injury that he suffered back at the Nittany Lion Open, maybe that's still lingering. You don't know, but we do have to see a little bit more out of Quentin throughout the rest of the season. And then today, Cameron Wade, heavyweight, had a big match. Heading into the match, the team was down 15-18, which puts Cameron in a must-win situation. And Cameron grinded out a 2-0 win over the number 8th ranked heavyweight in the country. And I talked to Justin Ortega after the match today, and he mentioned that Cameron just thrives in these high-pressure situations. Ortega's seen Cameron in these situations many times throughout his career, and Cameron usually prevails. So that was really good to see out of Cameron.
Yeah, and the Nittany Lions welcome back a very familiar face today against Minnesota in Brad Pataki, who was able to come back from his knee injury to give the Nittany Lions. He did not win his match today, but he was facing a very tough opponent in the number 5 ranked 125-pound wrestler in the country, and he made it so Penn State, for the first time in a while, didn't give up bonus points at that weight class.
Yeah, Brandon, it's really good to have that senior leadership back in the lineup. Brad's been out most of the season, hasn't wrestled since January 8th at the Virginia duels against Michigan. Just to have his presence back in the lineup, I'm sure that helped out the Lions.
The Nittany Lions will have their last match of the season Friday against Wisconsin at home. It will in all effects, it will be a tune-up for the Big Ten championships, which are coming up. So make sure you check out this week's Collegian to get more in-depth coverage of the team.
So for Brant Gelman, I'm Mike Still. Thanks for tuning in.
Off the mat.